are massive, with a seemingly infinite amount of titles across an even wider variety of subcategories and genres. Even if you were to just narrow things down to just the big two, being Marvel and DC Comics respectively, it feels like an endless black hole you'll never quite reach the bottom of. And if you're like me and insist on reading things in a precise and particular order, well, the anxiety of not being able to read everything you'll ever want to is just never ending. Overall, it can just feel really uninviting, especially when it comes to casual and new readers, and can keep fans from enjoying characters or even storylines. There is nothing I hate more in this world than sitting down with a comic and having to find myself go to a Wikipedia to read up on a character's history because I have no idea what's going on. I'm basically talking about the entirety of the X-Men, which is why I really love the idea of one-shot issues. These single issues, usually sprinkled in the middle of a larger story, offer a glimpse at a self-contained one. Spotlighting stories like these that might often be missed, I wanted to create a series of videos, fittingly titled The One Shot, in which I showcase various one-shots from DC Comics, Marvel, and even independent publishers, in the hopes that both diehard and casual comic fans can put their eyes on some amazing stories that might otherwise be missed. Brave and the Bold is a series that we just don't see in the way that we should anymore, and it's a literal crime. Initially a series published in 1955, it would go on to house iconic names and famous first appearances like Hawkman, Suicide Squad, and even the Justice League of America. It would later evolve into a series of team-up issues with the start of issue 50, and would continue on for 150 more, each one starring and showcasing a variety of characters. The series would end and eventually relaunch in 2007, following the same patterns as its predecessor. The latter is the one that we'll be talking about today, focusing on a very particular issue with Brave and the Bold number 33, featuring Wonder Woman, Batgirl, and Zatanna. This is one of those books I read very early into my passion for comics. I was lucky enough to find it in a dollar bin, and it's a book that is still one of those stories that I think about from time to time. Brave and the Bold number 33, written by J. Michael Straczynski and illustrated by Cliff Chiang, begins with Zatanna waking up from a terrible nightmare that would later be revealed as a premonition regarding the fate of Batgirl Barbara Gordon. That destiny would correlate with Barbara's fate in The Killing Joke, which would leave her physically disabled from the waist down after an almost fatal encounter with the Joker. After consulting with Wonder Woman, it's deemed that without knowing when or where the circumstances will take place, Zatanna can't interfere. And even if she were to do so, the possibility remains that it would only worsen the situation. Instead, with Wonder Woman's help, Zatanna is determined to give Barbara Gordon a night she can never forget. Now, the majority of the issue is in fact a girls' night out issue, with Barbara, Zatanna, and Diana spending their time in various bars and clubs throughout the city. These small slice-of-life moments are something I desperately love when it comes to Cape Comics. Seeing a superhero we love, doing something as simple as getting a cup of coffee, or in this case, a ridiculously cute karaoke session, it helps us as readers relate to those heroes we love. I think it's part of the reason why secret identities are a thing. Of course, the main purpose is to serve as a protective barrier for a hero's family and friends, as well as themselves, but secret identities also exist because it allows a hero to ground to a civilian life, and the very people they've sworn to protect. On the surface, Brave and the Bold is a tale of ladies just being ladies and having a night on the town. But dig a little deeper and we get what is not only one of the most heart-filled moments in the DC universe, but just in the medium in general. As readers, we get to experience a beautiful sense of origin presented in a somewhat positive manner from what is otherwise a traumatic instance in comics. Too often do we see that iconic scene from The Killing Joke exploited in a grotesque manner with moments that mean nothing more than, hey, here's that stressful and awful thing that happened to this character.
Remember?
Well, it's still an awful thing to experience, and I wish to God creators would bury rehashing that moment. It softens the blow by letting us see a different perspective. There are tender moments between our characters, including a moment between Zatanna, Wonder Woman, and Batgirl, in which Diana retells the story of the Oracle of Delphi. It's a careful reminder to Zatanna about the role she needs to take, despite the knowledge she's been given, while also igniting the spark that would help Barbara Gordon take on her future mantle. There's a lot of people on the internet who complain about this issue and the aforementioned moment in particular, but I really like issues like these that aren't just about the fighting and give us another definition of what it means to be a hero. Brave and the Bold, number 33, strengthens, empowers, and gives a new meaning to an otherwise tragic moment in DC Comics history. As a story that is often overlooked or just downright forgotten, it harbors a lot of impact in comics continuity. What are some of your favorite solo issues? Let me know in the comments below, and of course, I'll see you on the next one shot.